790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A partly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. It is nice to see the sun out there. Beautiful looking day, but as many of you are aware, if you've gone outside, it is a little bit on the wintry side. The big difference between yesterday and today is obvious. The wind. We did have wind gusts of almost 40 miles per hour in some spots here in the Great Lakes Bay Area. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Jonathan Dent. And John, yesterday the wind was just a howling. The sinuses were running. It was it was a pretty winter-like type day, and Mother Nature is, at least she's giving us some sun today.
A little bit, yeah, for now. Right now, we've got out at the airport, cloudy skies reporting with 26 degrees. Downtown Midlands looking at 26 under cloudy skies. Here at Radio Center, I'd call it mostly cloudy skies with 27 degrees right now. Wind out of the... Well, this is interesting. Out at the airport, they're reporting a southwest wind, 7 miles per hour. Here at Radio Center, we've got a northwest wind at 10 miles per hour.
No, nothing unusual about that?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. just to give you an idea how wacky this weather is.
And in Midland, it's just west at 5. So.
It's west at 5.
Yeah,
we'll take the west. I think it's a lot more accurate. The way things are going right now, well, by the time we're finishing the day off, 34 is going to be our projected high, and we should see a little bit more in the way of sun. We've got some upper level clouds that have been moving through, and over the last hour or so, over in the west central part of the lower peninsula, we have seen some snow shower and snow flurry activity. Bel Air right now, a little bit further north, is reporting some light snow, and we're also seeing a few flurries in the Grayling area. Pellston, Rogers City has a few flurries. And then on the east side of the upper peninsula, we're looking at some flurries there as well. Temperatures, for the most part, low teens the further north to start off our day. We did see a couple of single digits. Those were in the upper peninsula. And then we did look at, I think there was an 18 or 19 degree temperature overnight down in the Ann Arbor area. Again, lower spots, Lansing, another one, where we are seeing the cooler temperatures around in the central and southernmost portions of the lower peninsula. For us, started the morning off in that low 20 degree area. And as I said, by the time we move into the day today, 34 is our projected high, 26 for a low tonight. Clouds will be on the increase. We're going to watch a low pressure system over Nebraska. The pathway of that system really hasn't been narrowed down as of yet. I think, and we've been talking about it for the past couple of days, we do anticipate that low to cut through the Ohio River Valley. I think it is going to stay south of the Michigan border with Indiana and Ohio. And as a result, we are going to be on the northern edge of the snow. I believe the heaviest amount of snow is going to be right along that I-69 corridor, Jonathan, and areas to the south. Some of the forecasters, the national forecasters and the National Weather Service had us in a 4 to 6 inch category, a little even right up to earlier this morning. All the way along, we've been talking 2 to 4. And I got a funny feeling that's the way it's going to end.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all, especially mixing with a little bit less frozen precipitation later in the day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. And another wild card is that high pressure system, which is over eastern portions of Lake Superior. That's going to be moving a little bit more into Ontario province. That is going to have a deflection characteristic to it as far as what that low is going to do, because you have to remember a high is a clockwise circulation, a low is a counterclockwise circulation, And if you take a look at the dynamics of that air movement, there is that pushing mechanism that will push that low a little bit further south. So that's why I think that's the way it's going to shape up. We're going to be looking at an east wind tonight, very light, about 10 miles per hour, which means that the low pressure system is going to be getting a lot closer to us. And then eventually tomorrow, it's going to be southeasterly. Well, that would indicate, if it's a southeast wind, that the low is going to be a little bit further south than what it will be north. Because if we had a northern more trajectory, we'd be looking at a southwest breeze coming at us. So I think the winds are beginning to show just exactly where that thing is going to go. Southeasterly wind tomorrow, about 10, 12 miles per hour. Then northeasterly and then northerly on Friday night, which signifies that the low will be east of us. And during the day on Saturday, we'll have a north wind about 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies, middle 30s. So Saturday, for any outdoor activity, you better plan on bundling up just a little bit, especially if you got to sit and watch any activity. It is going to be a little bit chilly. Clear skies on Saturday night. We'll see a low temperature of right around 17, which will be probably the coldest we will see for a while. Then on Sunday, with partly cloudy skies, 38 for a high, only dropping down to 33 for a low on Sunday night. We're going to watch another system. This one is going to be coming a little bit more from the southwest, and it will move up into Canada to the west of Michigan, which puts us on the warm side of it and the wet side of it in terms of precipitation. Monday, it'll be 48 for a high, which indicates that we're going to be on the east side of that system. Mostly cloudy skies, rolling into moisture by Monday night, only dropping down from 48 down to 45 for a low on Monday. Then on Tuesday, 52 for a high, wet precipitation, 36 for a low on Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, tapering down just a little bit, partly cloudy skies, 48 for a high. Now, temperature trend to take us all the way through the 3rd of April. We're looking for average, if slightly above normal, precipitation values slightly above normal as well. Record high in this state, 87. It was set in 2012. That just happens to be the warmest ever, March the 21st. Our high was 87. Our low was 57. So very warm day. Coldest, well, our record low is 1. That was set back in 1965, and that turned out to be the coldest ever, March the 21st. 19 was our high, 1 was our low. Now, a year ago, or I won't say a year ago, back in 1967 on March the 21st, we had 7 inches of snow.
Wow.
It's been a while, but, you know, anything is possible here rolling into the tail end of March.
Well, we had one towards, I think it was Friday or something, where the record was like a foot or more, almost 2 feet. So.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, the record is 6 inches of snow set in 2011.
Yeah. Pretty recent there.
Yeah. So, hey, anything can happen. 44 is normal for high, 27 for a low. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Jonathan, who do we have coming up?
We'll be heading over to the Andersons, and that's where we'll talk to Melinda Sweeney after this.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, telling you all about those Farmall tractors. Another shipment just came in, and they've got a great selection right now. Anywhere from the value-packed compact Farmall A to the deluxe compact Farmall C and C Series with cabs. The nice thing about it is, whatever the job is, Weiss Equipment will pair you up with the right size Farmall tractor to do the job efficiently. Remember, the tractor does it all. So no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it's called Farmall. For more information, just stop by Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. Melinda, I was hoping that having you on today, everything would be in the green. Well, that didn't happen, did it?
It didn't. We were green this morning, though. We were up this morning on corn and beans, and we're now down a penny on corn, 2 on beans, and 2 on wheat. Potentially some of it to some of the funds. Equities are higher. The dollar's up 200 points, and the energy markets seem to be steady. A big thing and key factor here, next Thursday, we have the March 1st stocks and planning intention report that comes out on the 28th. And a lot of eyes on that as we get another look at what the USDA is saying for planning intentions for corn and beans. Our stocks to use ratio is something we're keeping a big eye on. We have corn resistance. The 50-day moving average is 445 futures, and their 100-day is 469. So a lot of eyes to see if we can push through that. We did get to 445 this morning was the high. But we are back down off of that now. So a lot of eyes on that. Short term, the weather for Brazil, in the U.S., what's going on with the safrinha crop and Argentinian exports. We'll be paying a big attention to that. Beans seem to have traded through their 50-day moving average. Brazilian farmers are selling a fair amount. So a lot of eyes for that as well. And wheat was up, and now we're down too. So another fun day for the wheat market as well.
Yeah, I guess. Had the opportunity to talk to a couple from southern Brazil last week. And the gentleman was telling me that they've had some pretty nice weather where he is. And he was talking about some relatives that have farms in Argentina. And they've been doing, he said, okay, but they've been having problems with transportation, not only where he lives, but also where the relatives live down in Argentina. And I guess, you can have a great crop, but if you can't get it off the farm, what good is it?
Right. They're definitely struggling with that with their infrastructure, as we've known that over the last 2 years. They seem to be making improvements, but the key thing to remember about Brazil is how big it is and where their corn crop is growing. That safrinha crop comes out of a little bit not northern, but central-ish part of Brazil. So very much like the Western Corn Belt, where they have different growing regions. And what happens in Iowa doesn't necessarily happen in Michigan. So that's a good thing to keep in mind when talking about Brazilian weather.
I guess. So on the board right now at the Andersons, what do you have?
Yeah, right now we have nearby corn for March at 370, new crop 24 corn at 409. We have nearby beans at 1150, new crop beans at 1130. We have new crop July red wheat at $4.94, and we have new crop white wheat for July at $5.39.
All righty. You have a great day. We'll talk to you again next week, okay?
You guys too.
All right. Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. What's going on in Chicago? Well, let's take a quick look here. Corn right now, the May contract is at 438.5. That is currently down a half. The July contract is at 451 3/4. That is down a half. Soybeans, May contract at 1260 1/4, or I should say 1206 1/4. That is down to 1 1/4. The July contract of soybeans is down 1.25 as well at 12.22. Wheat, May is at 543.5. That is down 1.5. Same thing with the July contract, down 1.5. That would make it 558.75. While we're taking a look at Chicago on the mercantile exchange right now, the beef complex is positive anywhere from 70 cents to 95 cents. The pork complex is just the opposite, down anywhere from 10 to 25 cents. Crude oil just changed. It's currently down 74.5 cents. That would make the May contract of crude oil at $80.52.5. Market report brought to you by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. Yes, they do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Find out how they can become your hometown financial solution by stopping by any of their conveniently located offices or go to their website at frankenmuthcu.org. And by Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors. They understand how your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. That's why they make it easy for you to get that old part because they know that you want that tractor to go. 800-234-3280 or visit them at steinertractor.com. Jonathan, when we return, who will be up?
We'll be talking with Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo right after this.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning out the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Are you upset with your current planter performance? Are you considering buying a new planter but blown away from sticker shock? With Precision Planting's V-Set, V-Drive, and Delta Force, we can retrofit your old planter to outperform any new planter on the market. Then access all your data from planting to harvest easily with Field View. Call PC Ag Solutions today and get your parts ordered, installed, and ready to go for the upcoming growing season. 989-868-4444. PC Ag Solutions. As we've said all week, this is National Ag Week. Along with us right now to tell us a little bit more about agriculture from the Brownfield Network is Cindy Young.
Here are just some of the key reasons why it's important to recognize and celebrate this National Agriculture Week. Increased knowledge of agriculture and nutrition allows individuals to make informed personal choices about diet and health. Informed citizens will be able to participate in establishing the policies that will support a competitive agricultural industry in this country and abroad. Employment opportunities exist across the board in agriculture. A few generations ago, most Americans were directly involved in or had relatives or friends involved in ag-related endeavors. Today, that's not the case. That's why it's so important that we come together at the community level. Our voices in concert become a shout that carries our message a great deal further than any one of us can do alone. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield.
Cindy, thank you so much. Our salute to agriculture during Agriculture Week, brought to you by the folks at Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made easy. By Star of the West, keeping the valley growing since 1870. And by the Rummel Insurance Agency of Saginaw, Frankenmuth, and Carroll, where farming is a personal business. Speaking of personal business, over to Yo and Yo we go right now. Eric Sawatsky joining us. Eric, let's talk about something that's really personal other than how to handle your money. Health insurance.
Yeah, Terry, there's a lot of different things to keep in mind when you're looking at your health insurance premiums and how that is impacted on your taxes. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of those things today. One, some businesses are able to deduct health insurance premiums that they pay on behalf of the employee. But many times, if you're an employee of a company, you're not able to deduct a lot of those premiums right now because the standard deduction is higher. And if you're not able to itemize deductions, health and medical insurance and other medical payments are kind of lumped into that, and it really hasn't been beneficial. But one thing to keep in mind, many people still get their health coverage on the health insurance marketplace. So if you go out on the government website and pick a policy there, if usually you have to give a estimate of your income for the year, and you need to be very careful with what that estimate is, especially if you have fluctuations in your income from year to year, if you're self-employed or your income changes. Because if you underestimate your income and through the government exchange, you get a subsidy, they pay part of your premium, that will be reconciled when you file your tax return at year end. And if you ended up with more income than you had projected and estimated on the website, you're going to end up having to pay some of those premiums back, and that can be a big shock or surprise. So try and estimate a little bit low when you're doing that on the marketplace, or if you have a major change in income during the year, you can always go on and provide a new estimate so that you don't have a big difference between those subsidies that they're paying on the premiums and what your actual income was.
Very good. Good information. Eric, thank you so much. You have a great end of the week. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Sounds great, Terry.
All righty. Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal, which is a high bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd. They've been doing it since 1991. Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Jonathan, who do we have up next?
We say good morning to Jerry Samalski from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. It is Thursday. Jerry, do you have our plant of the week?
I sure do. This week, guys, we're going to talk about the pussy willow. That's a plant that Grandma and Grandpa used to have a lot of, and they're cut for those beautiful catkins, the grayish, fuzzy flowers. It almost looks like it has little fur coats all over it. And it's a great plant to bring in. If you cut them and let them dry, those catkins can stay for years on a stick. So they're commonly used for decoration all over. It's a very widely adaptable plant. It'll take wet conditions, prefers a little more moisture, but it'll take dry as well. 6 to 15 feet in height. So it's a large plant. So you probably want to put it out in the back where you need some screening. And it's easy to care for. Just let it grow. And if it's getting too big for you, about every 3 to 5 years, saw it off to the ground, let it come right back, and it sure will. And it'll perform and put those catkins back out for you to enjoy next spring. And they're out now. They start late March, early April. So they're great to use if you're going to use some pansies and other things in containers to help use for decoration. It's a good old-fashioned, but yet very fun plant.
All right. And you've got them at the nursery.
We do, Terry, and we'll start opening more regular hours with Saturdays in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Give us a call. Make sure we're going to be here.
Thank you. Jerry Samalski, you have a good one, okay?
Yes, sir. Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. We're going to take a quick break, and then who's up next, Jonathan?
We'll be taking a look at what's going on in New York with Steve Anderson from Baird & Company.
Reliability. One word that packs so much meaning. Delivering on promises, standing the test of time, knowing your equipment is going to work when it's supposed to, or having someone knowledgeable there when it doesn't. It's the thing that gives you confidence during the toughest of seasons. So at Hudson, when we say reliable, we don't take it lightly. That's why we sell John Deere. Reliable equipment, reliable service, reliable people.
Let's find out what's going on in New York. Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company joining me right now. Stephen, give us some good news, okay?
I got all kinds of it. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is ahead by 330 points, putting it at 39,842. Volume is 319 million shares. The Nasdaq's ahead by 111, putting it at 16,481. Volume there is 432 million shares. Local stocks, Caterpillar 362.10, up 565. Deere 398.20, up 415. CMS 58.77, up 24. Dow down 33 at 57.84. DuPont 75.10, up 59. Corteva is 55.58, down 15. Excuse me. GM 43.26, up 41. Trinzio 398, down 12. Walmart 61.48, up 23. Huntington Bank is 13.51, up 19. Independent Bank 24.76, up 30. And AT&T is unchanged at 17.20. So all in all, not a bad day.
Not bad at all. Steve Anderson, thank you so much.
Do you have a history of white mold or SDS in your bean fields? While you can never predict when disease will occur, using the right seed treatments can reduce your risk of yield loss when it does. Did you know adding Heads Up to your seed treatment package brings a proven mode of action that primes your beans so they're ready to fight off disease all season long? Ask your seed dealer to apply Heads Up for protection against both white mold and sudden death syndrome this season. Learn more at headsupst.com.
Go on the offensive against weeds with Antares Complete from Helena. Antares Complete eliminates early weed competition with long-lasting residual control of broadleaf weeds and grasses. With a balanced premix of 3 herbicides, Antares Complete combats herbicide resistance and helps soybeans achieve a faster, more vigorous start to the season. Take a tactical first strike against weeds and protect your soybeans early with Antares Complete. Always follow label instructions and check registration before use. Contact your Helena representative to learn more.